the stress of perfect eating is a problem. So if you feel like you should be perfect with everything, we have a restrictive mindset. And that's a problem because the more you feel that you can't have things, the more you want them. So when you're on diets, you actually crave more.
And that lets you save. Who cares?
Welcome to a brand new edition of Ageless Energy, where we talk about how to burn fat, increase energy, and balance hormones for women over 40. Over the past 20 years as a performance coach, I've worked with hundreds of women that have the exact same struggles you do. I hope to shine some light with this podcast on what can be the most challenging time of your life and let you know there is hope to find success with your health and what you're looking for. Please share and enjoy. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Ageless Energy Show, or welcome for the first time, wherever you are. Today I'm going to talk about, is eating too clean a problem? And what is clean? What is clean eating? A lot of times I hear this all the time, actually. I'm doing everything right. I'm eating the right foods. I'm eating clean, and I'm not seeing any results. I still have bloating, gas, indigestion. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because I feel like we should shine some light on this subject and help you guys understand that there might be a different way, or there might be something going on that some of these suggestions may help with. So welcome to the show. Before we dive in, if you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women 40 plus increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So if that's you, you have come to the right place, and we're going to get things rocking. So I know sometimes I want to explain that why clean air quotations, why clean eating isn't always the answer. And I'm going to dive in here a little bit. Come in with an open mind. We're going to stretch your comfort zone a little bit, probably tell you a few things that you may or may not have heard before or tried. So let's see what we can do. One of the first things I want to start off with is how women over 40 usually eat. So often I'll hear someone say, I'm doing everything right, but I'm not seeing the results I'm hoping for. What am I doing wrong? So then we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation, and everything right usually looks something like this. So there could be a breakfast or no breakfast at all. In most cases, there's no breakfast, maybe a light snack, even a shake at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Then from there's either no lunch or a light lunch, like a salad. And I'm not talking about a full monster salad with all the 4 macros that we teach and create and talk about. I'm talking about like maybe a side salad from like a restaurant, which I would call more rabbit food than actually a meal. And then there's supper. And that's usually, whether that's steak and potatoes and some veggies, that's usually the closest thing to a full meal. Unfortunately, that's often a huge meal because you're starving. And what the problem here is, I had this conversation. I had a good friend from high school reach out, and I had a really nice conversation with her, and she's going through a lot of things that I talk with our members and audience with on a regular basis. And like the thing is that you're not getting enough nutrients in your body. So what you are calorie deficient and nutrient deprived. And what that causes is your body not to function optimally. What does that mean? It means imbalanced hormones. That means more menopausal types of symptoms. That means a really slow metabolism, and your body's not able to burn body fat. So when it comes to, I guess the old saying, you don't know what you don't know. So when women come to me in particular, they're like, I'm eating everything, doing everything right. It's hard for a lot of people to stretch their minds and stretch their comfort zones and understand that we don't know what we don't know. Like unless someone teaches us something different, we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we think it's right. And then we know the definition of insanity. I don't know if that came from Einstein. He certainly got the credit for it, but it's insanity, right? We just keep doing it over and over again, and we expect something different. But that needs to change if you want to see the results you're looking for. So my point number one that I wrote down here, these are I call them show notes. If anyone wants them, comment below and I'll send them over. It's just a short recap of some of the things I want to cover. Helps me stay on track. But so that's the whole basis there, is under eating. And when our ladies come into our program, they'll say, oh my gosh, I had no idea I could eat this much, because everyone thinks a diet is starvation mode. And they also say, I didn't know I should be eating, like this is the proper way to eat. No idea. Because usually we have that inner mindset of, oh, we should eat less, and less equals less body weight. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We usually have to eat more to increase our metabolism. So you could be constantly cold. That's something we don't think of. Like, our bodies have lost the ability to heat themselves because we don't put our bodies through cold exposure. Like in the winter, we're not outside really. Like when we were kids, we were outside playing all day, right? Doesn't really have it anymore. Talk to someone about cold exposure, like a cold shower or an ice bath, and they'll immediately shut you down like it's not even an option in their life. Like, our body has lost the ability to heat itself, which is a problem. So if we have, like, I see more and more circulation issues with people that have cold feet all the time, cold hands. I wouldn't say that's a healthy state of being, but that has, like, you have internal fuel. Like, the more nutrients you put in your body, the more your metabolism speeds up, puts you in a fat burning stage, and your body is more able to heat and cool itself as it should. That's what I would call like an optimal being, like a healthy, optimal person. I could tell without even looking at progress reports. Our members do weekly progress reports, like measurements, scale, pictures. I could tell who is seeing results and who isn't, not by looking at progress reports, just by seeing who's connected. Do you know what I mean? Maybe for a different topic. Energy crashes midday often has to do with a slow metabolism and not getting enough nutrients to turn into fuel that will fuel your body and energize you throughout the day. Sometimes workouts feel harder than usual. Again, you got to go back to fuel. Like, you don't have enough fuel in your body. Probably lack of supplementation, mostly, like, often lack of protein for women in this age group. And then hormonal signs. Like, this in particular is you could be missing periods or inconsistent, and poor sleep. Like, poor sleep is very closely linked to hormone imbalances. So often I'll hear that this looks like a healthy meal, but that doesn't mean it's a healthy meal, or it certainly doesn't mean it's a well-balanced meal. And then everyone has a different perception of what healthy is. Like, you could have someone that has 2 macros, and that, like, I could say let's say you have a chicken breast and broccoli. It's an easy one to pick on. How about peas and carrots instead of broccoli? And you have a chicken breast. Well, you have 2 macros there. Very little calories. Chicken breast is 125 calories, depending on the size. 25 grams of protein, right? And then you have veggies. And then so veggies are nothing. So you have a cup of veggies, that's 40 calories. So you have 200 calorie meal. And then people would say, like, someone would say that's a clean meal. Or someone would say, well, I want to cut back on carbs and I don't want to eat too many fats. And I'm like, you're eating 200 calories. So check this out. I'm getting passionate about this. You have someone that has a shake. Let's say someone has a shake in the morning. So 125 calories, let's just say 25 grams of protein with no MCT oil in there, with your healthy fat and nothing else. And then no lunch, or let's say it's a side salad for a lunch. So let's give that a whopping 200 calories. So now you're at 325 calories roughly. And then you have a chicken breast and a scoop of veggies, a cup of veggies. You're less than 500 calories a day. That's starvation mode. And then we wonder why our body isn't functioning properly, like digestion, not having proper bowel movements. I'm constipated. Well, you have nothing going through your digestive system to have bowel movements. Like, there's no fiber. There's certainly no probiotics. So your body is like seized up, and then your joints start to hurt, and then you have headaches. Gosh, that's a tough place to be in. So when someone comes to me like that, I kind of get excited, because I'm like, we can show you great results in a short amount of time. But what I always say, you have to be willing to make the changes. Like, you have to be willing to make the adjustments in your life. A lot of people aren't. And, I hear this all the time is, oh, I'll start later, or I'll just keep trying on my own. And, like, that's okay, because I don't particularly want to work with those people because they're not ready. But I would suggest being truthful with yourself and saying, if you're not ready to start, then you're not ready to see results. Because we see all the time, oh, I've been trying things all the time, or I really want to get healthy and feel better. But the actions don't show that. Your actions show the opposite. Like, I'm not ready. I'm not going to put in the effort, not consistent with anything, trying things for 1 or 2 weeks, and then going back to your regular lifestyle. Like, that's not really trying. Like, that's maybe a hard truth. It's not really trying. That's pretending you're trying and hoping that something magical will happen. Like, I tell our ladies before they start our program, like, this is work. And that's why I'm so proud of our members. Like, it's work, and they work terribly hard to see incredible results. And then people see that and they don't give them the credit they deserve. They're like, oh, you're probably starving yourself. Or someone asked Tracy's like 30 plus pounds down. And someone's like, oh, are you on Ozempic? She's like, no, I'm actually working for this. The stress of perfect eating is a problem. So if you feel like you should be perfect with everything, we have a restrictive mindset. And that's a problem because let's see, how can I say that? The more you feel that you can't have things, the more you want them. So when you're on diets, you actually crave more. So what happens when you get off like a conventional diet, I'm using air quotes again, is you lose your mind and you overindulge in all the things that you couldn't have, right? That's why diets don't work, because they're restrictive. And that's why what we do is the complete opposite. You can call it reverse dieting. And reverse dieting is more along the lines of eating more food and putting more substance. And that's a different mindset based around abundance instead of a lack. And a lot of times our mindset like, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough friends, I don't have a big enough house. Whatever it is, we have this mindset of lack, and we try to spin that around and help you understand the mindset of abundance, because that's what you really need to see the results you're looking for. So if you're over restricted, you're actually increasing your cortisol levels because you're stressed out all the time, always worrying about food, and then your body's holding on to body fat because your cortisol levels are too high. It's not a healthy place to be in. I really like it when our members, they'll say, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my body. I'm proud of my results. And I'm like, that's a great place to be. You should be proud because you've put in the work and you've earned it. In those that's the problem with the short-term quick fixes, is they don't last. And there's really, I don't know if this is fair or not, but it's probably not hard work. If you're taking a pill or a shot and you lose 45 pounds, that's not hard work. That may be a good start, but then you have to put in work after that to keep your results. So a lot of times women are going through hormone changes and things change. There's different things that change. If you're going through your cycle, you have your estrogen increase. And then with an estrogen increase, that is an imbalance of hormones. So it's almost like you could look at, maybe an easy way to explain hormone balance is almost like balancing your blood sugar level. So the more level that you can be, the more balanced you are, and the more healthy, a more healthier state that you would be in. So you're not looking at ways to spike or increase. For example, if you're looking for energy and you drink an energy drink, you're going to spike your blood sugar levels, right? And then anytime there's a spike, there has to be a crack. That's just physics. No, I'm not a physician. Not a physician. Let's move on. Okay. A lot of times people focus on, I have to eat gluten-free, I have to eat vegan, I have to not eat any carbs. I feel like that's a different mindset that doesn't necessarily bring you closer to your goals. And don't get me wrong, if you're gluten intolerant, you need to avoid eating gluten. That's fine. But a lot of times people think because they're vegan or because they're vegan and all they do is eat box food. I've known people like that. You eat gluten-free. We went to a trade show and we had our product, gluten-free, complete with protein product. We're at one table, and on one side of us is, I don't remember what it was. I think it was deep fried dumplings or something, but they're gluten-free. And the other side of us was some type of cake and gluten-free cake. And people passed us to get the dumplings, and they passed us to get the cake. And as long as it was gluten-free, they're okay. They could eat it. But that's obviously a big problem if you're eating cake and you think it's okay for you to consume it just because it's gluten-free, right? So I feel like we don't focus on the right things to see results.
One of the things I would like to ask of you guys is that some of you know that I don't run ads on this show and don't plan on in the immediate future. So the only ask I have for you is that you help us spread the word so we can help more women burn body fat, increase energy, and balance their hormones. And the only way that we can do that is if you can rate and review this podcast. So the single thing that I could have you do or could ask of you is to leave a review. It'll take 5 minutes or one swipe of the thumb. It would mean the absolute world to me. And more importantly, you could change the world for someone else. As many of you know, there's plenty of women that struggle in this age group for balancing hormones, increasing energy, and burning body fat. So if you could help spread the word, that would make a big difference in our life and probably someone else's as well.
Okay. How strategic adding can be the breakthrough. So a lot of times we take away. This is the restriction mindset. We take away, instead of adding. So let me give you an example. If you look in your fridge and you have, here's what I see sometimes in the door of friends, family members, Fridges. I don't have any judgment. People should have whatever they want in their fridge. However, if you're looking to make changes, you should clean up with what's in your fridge. So I think it's probably a mistake and not necessarily sustainable for you to wipe everything out of your pantry. That's for TV or for The Biggest Loser, right? Is that show still on? Let me know in the comments if you guys know if that Biggest Loser is still on. I couldn't imagine if it's still on. I feel like people are catching on. Good morning, Sheila. I feel like people are catching on. That's not real. Good morning, Sharon. Well, maybe people didn't watch it because it was real. People like to escape their reality. They're like, what could actually happen in my life? Which is such a lie. So often I'll hear, instead of getting everything, I was talking about fridge, pantry, could be your bathroom. I'll talk about this in the future, but your bathroom is usually the most toxic place. You have your toxic cleaners, you have toxic shampoos, sprays, like that stuff we're inhaling, it's terrible for our body. So instead of dumping all of that into the trash and starting out, and then we'd have the mindset of lack, we have nothing left, I would consider adding one thing at a time. So you look at your ketchup, it probably has liquid sugar in it and maybe red dye. You should probably get rid of that. So, because it's so cheap, right? It's like 99 cents for a big bottle. So you would, instead of throwing that in the garbage, you would buy. And then here's the thing is I often hear people say, I'll start your clean supplements when I'm done with my low quality supplements. And I'm like, okay. But all we're saying is I'm going to wait to see results until this is gone. And then I'll grab something to see results. Right? And the other thing, so that mindset, what you could do is mix in. This is what I would suggest, is if you have an old protein container and it doesn't have clean ingredients, you don't want to throw it away because you don't want to waste your money, is that you get a clean protein and then you get a nut and then you use your other one. And you could either do one day you do a low quality protein until it's gone, and then one day you do a good quality protein, or you do half a scoop with a junky one and a half a scoop of the good one, because then you can slowly get rid of it and then you're slowly cleaning up your diet. But a lot of times people are like, oh, I'll just do it, and they never do it, right? You never go and buy the one you should, because you don't take the crappy one because it tastes chalky. It's not good for you, and it probably doesn't make your digestion feel really good. So that sits there. Right? Hard truths this morning. Okay, I only got a couple more tips here and I'm going to wrap it up. So the things that you could add, for example, is sometimes when I start talking with someone about our program or cleaning up their diet and they're not having any food or they're eating 500 calories a day, they're like, well, what should I be doing? And I'm like, well, I don't want to tell you what you should be doing because it's going to feel too overwhelming. And not what you should be doing or where do I need to get to. I say, well, start off with one thing. So maybe you add a breakfast. If you're not having anything at all, start with a breakfast for a week and see how that goes. If you're consistent with it, then you can add. If you're not consistent, if it's twice in the week, maybe 3 times, it's not super beneficial for you to add something else because you're not even consistent with a simple step. So you have to take a simple step, right? That could be as simple as a shake, a good quality shake, protein shake I'm talking about. You could add a post-workout snack. That'd be a good idea. A lot of women work out fasted, which is a terrible idea. Maybe you're having your breakfast and you could have your pre-workout shake, right? So there's dozens of different things that you can do. Just do something. Take a small step forward. So your metabolism in particular, your body is holding on to that body fat because your metabolism is too slow. As you slowly increase your food intake, your metabolism increases and your body starts to burn body fat. One of the biggest challenges with new members that we work with is they're resistant to the food. They're like, I think this food is going to make me gain weight. And I say, do you think doing what you've been doing for the last 20 years was working out for you? No. So let's try something different. Last one here is mindset. You have to have I asked you guys at the beginning of this, coming in with an open mindset and understanding that food is fuel. Food is not the enemy. Often we'll hear, I don't want to eat because that will cause me to increase body fat. It's not true. 99% of the women that come to us don't get enough nutrients. I very rarely come across someone that eats too much. It may be eating too much at one meal because you're starving yourself and then you have this giant supper. That could be. But in most cases, you're not getting enough nutrients to burn body fat. So food is not the enemy. We have to understand that. Food is actually fuel. And I've always believed, like deep down to my core, food heals, food prevents, and food cures. Food is the answer in most cases. So starting there would be a good idea. I think understanding that, or like reframing restriction to nourishment. Like, I can't have this, I can't have that. Think of abundance, think of nourishment, think of all the nutrients going into your body that's actually going to help improve your health. That'd be a good one. Normalize needing more food when active. So some of our ladies, like they get into, I'm thinking of a couple in particular that are, we have a Rocky Mountain soap run coming up, and they're exercising more. They may be running, they may be run walking, they may be walking, whatever it is, but they're burning more calories, and you need more fuel. Sometimes you need more calories than you're used to. And then they say, well, I'm hungry all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, have a healthy snack. And they're like, well, I don't want to gain any weight. And I'm like, let's go. You've been with us long enough to know clean food will burn off and can be used efficiently. So that's worth mentioning. Normalizing. I was going to say something that I thought was funny, but I'm going to pass because sometimes my sense of humor doesn't come off the way I mean it to. That's it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, all our products are at trueformlife.com, and you can find out more details about our MAP program there. We have, I'm going to close the doors for our MAP program. I guess it depends when you're watching this, but this is near the end of May. So June, July, August is, we're revamping, and we're going to be working on things behind the scenes. So if you are interested, speak up soon. Otherwise, we will catch you in September when there's a giant rush of everyone coming through that has eaten everything and have done all the things that they know they shouldn't be doing, and have gained 10 pounds or 15 pounds and say, I really need some help. You could avoid all that by reaching out today. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.